At first look, Cameroon's President Biya's proposal for decentralizing many powers to Anglophone regions appears worthy of consideration, provided these powers enjoy full constitutional protection against reversal and local control over cultural and linguistic matters is assured. Um, um, only Mr. Cohen and maybe Western powers or the international community can consider this worthy. The people of Ambazonia just think it's a joke. It's a joke. Because who is Paul Biya? Who is Paul Biya to be the one to offer anything to them? It's a joke. This is again by Mr. Cohen, and this was a few days ago, December 2019. Devolution bill enacted by Cameroon's parliament is unacceptable because Anglophone Cameroonians were not consulted. Devolution bill enacted by Cameroon parliament is unacceptable because Anglophone Cameroonians were not consulted. See, that's exactly what lawyer Bobga is advocating, is asking Congresswoman Korembas to do. It seems that somehow people think they can ignore us, they can ignore the Ambazonian people and still have their way. It's not going to happen. The reason why all of these talks and all these international movements are going is because the Ambazonian people refuse to become slaves of an evil empire. And so if you think you can do all these manipulations and somehow the people of Ambazonia are going to fall for it, those days are gone. Those days are gone. I can tell you that the days when some powers controlled information and therefore control what passes for fact is gone. Our people know our story now, and once a mind has been stretched, you cannot unstretch it. So Pobia and the international community can continue to dream. Current one-way dialogue should be replaced by an honest negotiation that will result in a return to the federal system that existed prior to 1962. Again, this is another fallacy because La République du Cameroun and the French knew right from day one that there was no federation. Because even in 1961, Foncha was the prime minister of southern Cameroons, or what they call West Cameroon, but he was not the one running the place. It was Ngor, who was a federal inspector appointed by Biya, who was running the place.
He was in command of the administration because the southern Cameroon had no money, and I was running the police. I kept the police, but he was paying the administration and subsidizing, and said to be subsidizing the southern Cameroon, as it were.
The government of the southern Cameroons was taken over by the French on day one under the pretext of subsidizing it.
Although he closed all the ports, he was subsidizing the southern Cameroon.
After forcefully taking over the southern Cameroons, the French closed all the borders of the territory and closed its ports from external trade. This was not a part of the agreements that were presented to the people of southern Cameroons and they voted for on February 11, 1961, to join La République du Cameroun in the UN-sponsored plebiscite.
In 1963, the Minister of Finance came to tell me that no money was coming from the ports of the southern Cameroon. I asked him whether he was speaking to a fool.
Abi Mami, Bridget Eta, Akomorotu, and as I sit down so for here, my master don't die, and I bury you for January. As I did so with my big mommy, them we don't run. And along the line, as I did run at the camp for road, where my picking them, someone they lost for bush. So my picking said, me go look them. They can't hold it, they beat them. Before I want carry reach hospital where the place where to go because if the picking died for my hand.
The people of the southern Cameroons were first violated by not honoring agreements made and sanctioned by the United Nations organization. This was followed by stripping off the territory's ability to support itself financially. After impoverishing the people of the southern Cameroons and cutting them off from the rest of the world, the job of dismantling their economic infrastructure followed, accompanied by looting its existing resources. This led to the ultimate dependency and annexation of southern Cameroon to La République du Cameroon that was intended, with the now admitted goal of turning the English-speaking people of the United Nations Trust Territory of Southern Cameroons into Francophones. Nothing could be more criminally visited upon a people who were forced and deceived by the British and the United Nations to join with another people as equal partners. Really what we are talking about is a gross violation not only of human rights but of international law, of all the norms of civilized society that were violated in Ambazonia, in southern Cameroons. Here the UN sponsored a plebiscite. It told the people of Ambazonia, here is what you are voting for. The people of Ambazonia voted for that, and immediately, that paper was scrapped. The lives of the people of Ambazonia and this conspiracy is where the rubber really hits the road. They feel the pain, and they have tried everything. They have tried federation, like Mr. Cohen is saying, and we are not going to go try federation again. We tried it the first time. How many times do you want us to be fooled before you accept that we were fooled? How many times? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And the people of Ambazonia said they will not be shamed. So like I said, the struggle is going nowhere. The Amber Boys are not really the ones who are being killed, because the Amber Boys know how to take care of themselves. They run the place right now. La République actually knows all of this. But I don't know what, maybe they think by burning homes, by killing civilians, somehow the civilians are going to force the Amber Boys to drop their arms. No. The problem with the French and La République is that there is no Ambazonian who hasn't felt the pinch, the hurt of La République du Cameroon. They have called them names. In their own town, they can't speak their own language. The police harass you. You know, these are people who are free. You know, it's been said that when the British came, they ruled indirectly. So these are people who have naturally been living very free lives, and then suddenly they find this monster come in, and they look for ways to accommodate the monster. They've gone from one change to another trying to accommodate the monster. It did not work, and right now they've decided enough is enough. And so Ambazonians, there's nothing going on right now. The resistance is just the only thing going. I think the Amber Boys are getting more and more control of the ground, and I am emphasizing the Amber Boys getting more and more control of the ground because, you see, the diaspora needs to reorganize, because they have the middlemen that have really messed up the diaspora, and the support from the diaspora to the ground is very minimal right now. So we are really counting on the Amber Boys to take total control of the struggle and then instruct the diaspora on what to do. Because the diaspora right now is looking for leadership. And I have always said, the role of the diaspora is to support the ground. It's not to have people who are living in the West to come and claim to be your commander-in-chief or come and claim to be your president and all that crap. The only legitimate representatives of the people of Ambazonia are the people who escaped from the ground as part of the leadership, went to Nigeria, and through a conspiracy between, and I know this conspiracy was definitely engineered by the French, negotiated it with the Nigerians, who are now beginning to actually get to know who the French are and are beginning to protest, to commit this international crime where they authorize the forces of La Republique to actually fly into Nigeria, capture these people and take back there. And the international community hasn't said a word. I haven't heard anybody say, oh, that was wrong, and because of that kind of a thing that you did, here is what is going to happen, because they are destroying the international system. And they are setting these precedents which gradually erodes the international system, and very soon will be where we were before World War II and the war went up in flames. So, I don't know, but the people of Ambazonia are not very confused. They're not confused about what they want and where they need to be before they know that there's a real solution on the ground. Until then, I was listening to one of the patriots say that if they want 100 years war, they will get 100 years war. Thank you for listening.